Welcome to the second official episode of the Hit or Miss podcast, and let's just get straight into it with some news coming out of pro boxing. Tank Davis's hit list, who he wants to fight, has just been released, and Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson are both on this list, and those are two fights that I want to see. I would love to see those. I think Tank probably wins both of them, in my opinion, and if he fights those two guys, beats those two guys, he's probably top 3 pound for pound in the sport. But I'm going to take it a step further. I'm going to add a name in there that if he fights him, he's unequivocally the best pound for pound boxer. If he fights Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, and Lomachenko, he's the best pound for pound boxer in the world, in my opinion. Yeah, those are two top 10 guys. Yeah, you're up there, bud. Well, maybe not Devin Haney. And I think Loma's probably the hardest fight there, in my opinion. But I think Tank could probably get it done. Yeah. Okay, moving on. Influencer boxing. We have a new fight that's just been announced to take place next month in July. Jake Paul versus Mike Perry. Now, Mike Perry has been in talks to fight in the influencer scene for 3 years at this point. Maybe that's an exaggeration, but it seems like it's been that long. He was supposed to fight. There were talks about him fighting Jake a few years ago, and then he was the backup for Dylan Dennis in the Logan Paul-Dylan Dennis fight. So if Dylan Dennis pulled out, then Mike Perry would be replacing him, which they should have just had Logan Paul versus Mike Perry. That's a much better fight than Dylan Dennis versus Mike Perry. And yeah, that's just... It's going to apparently take place on July 20th, 2024. No venue has been announced. Nothing else has been announced. It's only been announced that they're planning to fight in July. And this makes sense because, it's a long way to November when Jake is supposed to next fight. But, he has to have at least a fight in between then. And, yeah, it's an alright fight. I think Jake probably, probably wins. But honestly, this could be a tough fight because I know it's bare knuckle boxing isn't just 100% boxing, but he is doing very well in bare knuckle boxing, Mike Perry. So this could be a tough fight, but I think Jake wins it by unanimous decision. Majority decision. I don't care. Unanimous decision. Now, moving on to MMA/UFC. The Conor McGregor Michael Chandler fight has been called off. Conor McGregor pulled out as and when I'm releasing this, this announcement has just gone out because I don't even have this up on my website yet. So Alex Pereira's going to be the main event now because Conor McGregor pulled out. Yeah, he's fighting. I'm sorry. I genuinely don't know. I don't know how to pronounce it. Let me try to do this real quick. Jiri Prochazka. Jiri Prochazka. 30-4-1. Where's he ranked? What is he ranked? Is there a ranking here? Let's see. I'm sorry I have to do this right now. He is not ranked. What? Okay, I don't know what's going on. Just forget that ever happened. So this is the second time they're fighting. All right, what? Yeah, this is the second time they're fighting. And that should be the main event. It's obviously not as big as Conor McGregor comeback, so the card probably isn't going to do as well, but it's still a pretty good main event, heavyweight. Alex Pereira is a main draw. But who knows when we're gonna see Conor McGregor fight again? I don't know. We've been talking about this for 3 years. Moving on to news from the NFL, a little bit more, not a ton of news coming out of the NFL. So, Gotta find something to talk about. Christian McCaffrey has been announced as the next cover athlete of Madden 25, not the other Madden 25, the Madden 25 coming out in 2024. I feel like this is long overdue, man. He's been good. He's been elite for a long time. I mean, he's probably been the best running back besides the years he was injured since like 2020, 2019. I mean, 2019, you can make an argument for Derrick Henry, but man, he's been good for so long. It's been long overdue. We'll see if the Madden curse is real. Let's hope it isn't. But yeah. Now moving on to the NBA. We have Game 3 happened. The Boston Celtics lost to the Dallas Mavericks. Lost to the Boston Celtics. I don't know the score. I don't really have it up right now. It literally, as I'm recording this, it just got over. I can Google it right now, though. Okay, so the score was, 106-99. That sounds about right. It was a very close game up to the end. And then the unthinkable happened. Luka Doncic fouled out of the game with, I think, about like 4 minutes to go. 4 minutes to go. And it was a really important time in the game. They needed him down that stretch. They probably could have won it if they had him down the stretch. But he fouled out and his defense has been horrible. And also, he immediately, as he's on the ground, he yells at the bench to challenge the play. And you kind of have to challenge that in that situation. Like, there's no reason not to challenge it, you know. But, man, you want to see a little bit more mental toughness from but like, it's just like, I get you're very emotional, you're very passionate about the game, but man, you first you foul out and then you scream and like berate your coaching staff to challenge it. I mean, man, it's a bad look. You know, he doesn't seem like a winner to me. You know, he does not seem like a winner. His defense all series has been shoddy, and it all culminated into him having 6 personal fouls. That's bad, man. It was bad. And I can't remember who said this, but someone said it like, we're going to see how much Luka really wants to win the next game. Because even if they do win the next game, it's most likely going to be over by Game 6. You know, I could see them winning the next game, but we're going to see if Luka is a winner. Because right now he's not a winner. He hasn't won anything, so how is he a winner? He's not a winner. And it looks like the Boston Celtics are going to win their 18th title. As a Lakers fan, that's very cringe to me. But, hey, it is what it is. They're a great team. No, we shouldn't have overthunk it. We shouldn't have overthunk it. They were the best team. They were doing things that they literally beat everyone in the finals on their way to the finals easily without some of their main options like Kristaps Porzingis. He was out, and they still just dominated every team that they played. So yeah, it's over. In my eyes, it's over. They're not coming back from 3-0, obviously. Now moving on a somber note, moving on to other NBA news. NBA legend Jerry West, the logo, passes away at 86. He joined the league in 1960. Averaged 27 over his career. That's insane. He won a title in 73, and then he coached the Lakers shortly after that. And then the general manager. He's a key part in the Showtime Lakers. He's a key part in the SHAQ and Kobe Lakers. Great as an executive. He was all right as a coach. And amazing as a player. You know, legendary player. The logo. Can't think of anybody else to be the logo, man. As a Lakers fan, you know, A lot of people only really know him for his portrayal in Winning Time, which I've read wasn't really that true. Even if it was entertaining, it really wasn't that true. But great player. The logo, couldn't think of anybody else to be the logo. Moving on to news out of the MLB, the Yankees face high stakes in retaining Juan Soto amidst stellar season. So Juan Soto and the Yankees just in general have been probably one of the better contenders in the league, in baseball right now. And though he is a little bit injured right now, which people thought was going to be like a major injury, but it's really not that serious. The Yankees want to keep him, and it's going to take a lot. I think about $500 million, something like that. That's what it was estimated to be, almost about $500 million over 10 years, which is a lot of money. But he deserves it. He's having a great season. As a Yankees fan, I hope he stays. He's been very well when he's on the field. So hope he stays. Moving on to news coming out of spring football, the UFL. I mean, we should honestly just change this to UFL because there's really only one spring football team or league that really matters. But the Carolina Panthers, my Carolina Panthers actually, I'm trying not to be too biased in the stories that I covered, but there isn't a ton of coverage coming out of the UFL other than the championship right now, which we will talk about today. But the Carolina Panthers are going to work out UFL Offensive Player of the Year, Hakeem Butler. Hey, as a Panthers fan, sign him up, man. Get Bryce Young a target, 6'5", 230, averages like 10 mosses a game, man. This guy he run by you, go over you. There's a reason why he was Offensive Player of the Year, is because he is the best receiver in the league. And we already signed another UFL guy from Memphis, but I really hope we sign this guy. I'm just going to make sure we didn't sign this guy, so I'm not, like, out of the loop, because I don't want to be wrong. No, it seems like he was just working out. But he's also going to work out with the Jaguars, too. So he's going to make his decision on who he wants to go to. If I'm him, I want to go to the Panthers. Reason being, I would think the Jaguars are the Panthers, because I was going to say the Panthers, they've been having troubles at receivers, and, if you stand out, you probably could sneak into the starting lineup. But when you think about it, the Jaguars, didn't they lose Calvin Ridley? Yeah, I don't know. I would want him to go to the Panthers because he's 6'5" and 230 and mosses everyone. But we'll see. Now, speaking of spring football, UFL Championship is coming up. Listen, you have the Birmingham Stallions, which have been like the best team in all of spring football, like the XFL, USFL, everything since like 2022. I mean, can they three-peat? If they three-peat, that's just, man, it does get a little boring when the same team just dominates for 3 years in a row, but it's like, man, this team is so dominant. Like, how did they get so dominant? And then you have the San Antonio Brahmas. Last year, they were atrocious. I mean, they were awful. They were actually awful, excuse me. But Wade Phillips turned it around, and they're in the championship. And they're the only team this season to beat the Stallions. And that leads me to believe that the Stallions are going to win. Reason being, listen, that you lit a fire under their butt, man. They're angry. They're ready to come into play to avenge the loss you just gave them. I'm taking the Birmingham Stallions. They got the offense. They have, first of all, they have the league MVP on offense. So they have the offense. Their defense is astounding. The Showboats, they did show a good offensive performance on the ground, but I think that and they do have a good defense, San Antonio, but I don't think either of those are better than the Stallions' offense and defense. So, hey, Birmingham Stallions are gonna three-peat, in my opinion. I would bet on them if I were a betting man, which I'm not. I'd bet on the Stallions, even though they're probably overwhelming favorites. Moving on, college football. Another just sad story in this lineup of stories. College football player MJ Daniels remembered after fatal shooting. This guy was 21. I remember when he first got to Ole Miss, and I actually didn't even know he transferred to Southern Mississippi. But yeah, man, he was found unresponsive in his vehicle. Man, I don't think, as the time of being recording this, I don't think any new information has come out as to what happened or what might have happened. But whatever happened, it's just it's a really sad story. A really sad story. Man, a lot of these stories have been sad recently, Only 21, too. Probably could have only gone to the NFL. He was a starter. He was a starter at Southern Mississippi, so probably would have gone to the NFL. Moving on to some other news, we have the WNBA. Caitlin Clark. I hate to just only be talking about Caitlin Clark, but I mean, she's really, a lot of the stories coming out are really only about Caitlin Clark. I'm going to try my best to try to, curb talking about only Caitlin Clark coming out of the WNBA, because that's what it seems like every other news platform is doing. But Caitlin Clark sparks debate, and SHAQ weighs in. He weighs in a lot. So basically what SHAQ said is he thinks that other women aren't getting as much credit as Caitlin Clark, and that's why he thinks that they might hold a few grudges against her, and that's why they're doing this. So he thinks that we should be showing love to everybody instead of just Caitlin Clark. And in my opinion, yes, I do agree with him. I feel like Caitlin Clark is getting too much credit at this point they act like she created the league. I mean, that's genuinely what they act like. But I mean, I can't in good conscience blame her. If I'm the WNBA players, I'm going after the media, I'm going after, league executives that just that put this all on her, put everything on her. That's what I'm going at. I'm not going at the player that just wants to play basketball. She's never said, man, I created this shit. This shit is mine. This league is mine. I own this league. She never said anything like that. So I don't know why they're holding grudges against her. I would hold grudges against probably the media and other, shit like that. Stuff like that. I gotta stop cursing, man. Moving on to some soccer news or football news, let's just call it football. Lionel Messi reflects on career and future at Inter Miami. It seems as though, from this story, that Lionel Messi is going to retire in Inter Miami, and it'll be the close of a great career. He's 36 right now. Man, when did he turn 36, man? I thought he was 34. He started his career at Barcelona at 16. He's been playing for 20 years, man. Man, that's crazy, man. That is actually crazy. So there's no surprise that it seems as though it's going to end in a few years. Great career. Great career. Nothing else to say. Just a great career. Yeah. Yeah, and that's going to do it for this episode. A little bit shorter episode, only about 18 minutes, but not a ton to talk about from other sports. This episode is probably going to come out a little bit later because, I'm going to be really busy the next up and coming days. School is ending pretty much as I'm recording this. School is ending 2 days from now. So I'm going to be kind of busy, doing stuff, setting stuff up for celebration and shit like that. But thank you guys for watching. The next episode will be out as soon as I can get it out. Go to the website, link in the description. It's updated pretty much every day with fresh stories. I spend a lot of time on that. So if you guys just go check it out. Check it out every day. Read a story. Maybe you'll find out something you don't know. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe and like, and I'll see you guys later.